what's also happening is an email is being sent with the new employee ID to the manager of that department to basically say, testing department number 2's manager, a new person has been added, please approve. Lo and behold, new user has been added to the system, please go and approve. So you can see how the system works with each other to ultimately drive that through. This is a system that can be fully integrated, so if you are a Lawson HR organization, this could be integrated with Lawson to accept feeds to, again, streamline the process rather than lead to more redundant work. So that was just kind of a quick glimpse into our planning and budgeting solution. There's more to it. We alluded to. Let me see if I can get back to our presentation here. There's a full BI component to it where we have reports and dashboards. We want to go ahead and take the time for a poll here while I'm talking through some of the other elements of our solution. There was reporting available. As you saw, they were ready to link reports as pertinent to the forms that you were on, as well as a dashboard that allows you to track the real-time analytics of the tool itself. So are you currently utilizing an automated forms and workflow solution? Yes, no. I'm not sure, or I'm interested in learning more about it, so please contact you. Basically, this is, are you sitting in, this kind of rapid spreadsheet set that we've been talking about, or are you starting to utilize more of these SharePoint-able solutions? So future directions of our tool. GNet Group is always working to enhance our solutions and making them better for our customers. We're always moving to take advantage of new technologies and new capabilities to make these solutions much more business ready. The next version of our planning and budgeting solution is due out at the end of Q1 of 2011. It's going to take a much deeper advantage of the new capabilities in SharePoint 2010 and SQL Server 2008 R2. It's going to have much more richer interfaces built on the InfoPath 2010 set. We want to showcase more modules, deeper integrated workflow capabilities. As we continue to improve beyond that, we want to have future versions of the solution to include enhancements on the configuration of business rules, more complex business rules, the ability to create models for your organization. So if you're in if you need a consolidation model, you need composite models, things of that nature. We want to have that ability ready at your fingertips in the next releases of this solution, as well as enhancing the solution itself by taking advantage of the technology capabilities. GNet's also committed to harnessing the power of the cloud. So if you're not already, everywhere you turn seeing the To the Cloud commercials, that's us. We want to take this planning and budgeting solution and make it available in the cloud for our customers who really want the power of the solution, but don't necessarily have internal resources to support full on-premise deployments. Sharing the concepts of Microsoft's Azure platform and the online productivity suites, GNet Group works with Microsoft as cloud partners to offer our customers flexible, powerful solutions that allow really on-demand solutions to scale up and scale down as our customers need. So one last poll here. We want to know, are you currently utilizing a planning and budgeting solution in your organization? You are, you're not. When we say you're not, you're really looking at, Excel, maybe Access, Outlook. If you are, that's great. We'd love to hear more about it. I think we've got most everybody's input on that. So we talked about a lot of different things, and we want to provide you with a couple of links to really help do some more research on your own. As we said, you download this deck directly from the live meeting, and you can go ahead and read our Wilder case study, get more insight on how this planning and budgeting solution is currently helping Wilder streamline their organization and really better plan for future years of continuing to help the Minnesota community. You can visit our blog on WordPress for constant updates on our solutions, our offerings, tips and tricks on the Microsoft platform, as well as industry news from our industry experts. And for more information on the Microsoft tools themselves, you visit the Microsoft SharePoint website, the Office InfoPath website, or learn more about the Microsoft Cloud. And at this point, I think we want to go ahead and open the floor for some question and answers. Please feel free to use the Q&A window, which I think several of you have been using throughout the organization, throughout the presentation, I'm sorry. Please feel free to submit questions. At this point, we'll just kind of take them as they come. I think we've got a couple in the queue. So we've got one in the queue right now. What happens to all the... Just the window fell away. So... Sorry, we're walking through the set of questions. If you pull up your QA window, you can see some of the Q&A that's been going on throughout the presentation. If you haven't got any questions you can think of off the top of your head, by all means, please feel free to contact us. There's my email address, Chaitanya's email address. You can reach me on Twitter. You can always send messages to GNet's Twitter account, and those can be answered by any of our solution experts. For those of you who can't see that window, we just got a couple of questions. Will the information transfer to SharePoint 2007? InfoPath services and workflows do apply to both 2007 and 2010. There are some new features available and some new UIs available in InfoPath 2010 that you can harness. We talked about using InfoPath forms to create web apps in lieu of ASP.NET. You can build those robust web applications in a fraction of the time, and they work together. The application for nonprofit businesses only? No, it is not. The example we had was based on the Wilder Foundation, which was, of course, a nonprofit, so a lot of the things you saw, such as endowment usage and whatnot, may have been pertinent to nonprofits, but the planning and budgeting solution itself it is robust enough to be implemented in any kind of organization, in any industry. Is the planning and budgeting application available? Is it a ready-made, pre-built app, or does it need to be customized and developed? The solution's pre-built, so the core of the solution, the forms, the interaction of the forms, the deployment routines, that is all pre-built. The pieces that we can configure for you are meant to be, the application of, first of all, training, how to use that, as well as any kind of configuring of color schemes, skin standards, business rules that might need to be put into the tool. If there are really specific, very specific, customized needs that can't be done by the solution, we can definitely work with you for a much more customized implementation. And we can always train you to do it or do it for you. And then the final, we had a much more technical question.
So I can take those, Anand.
Right.
I think we answered one question about how does the ASP.NET and the MVVM patterns and all that stuff. I think it's available for everybody to read. Yes, it should be there. So the one part, and then there's another question that's come in. I would say what we can do is where you're deploying SharePoint, InfoPath forms to SharePoint, there's quite a bit of a process to it in terms of, it depends on what it is that you're trying to achieve. So I would say, if you can send us an email, there's Anand's email ID and my email ID in there. If you can send us an email with a little description of all the points you're looking for, we'd be happy to answer. There's another question about when would you use cubes, if I understand the question correctly. It is related to the SQL Server Analysis Services cubes, and I think if that's how I understand it. The whole logic behind the cubes is basically to have analytical data to do a year-over-year analysis. I'm hoping that answers the questions. If not, please feel free to send us an email with any other questions as well.
Yeah, I think the cubing component is really meant to support, if you remember that architecture slide, it's meant to support kind of the BI side of planning and budgeting. So you have this wealth of data over several years that you've been interacting with. Cubes obviously going to allow that pre-aggregation and analysis of that data via dashboards and ad hoc reporting. Okay, so I think we've gotten to most of the questions, or all the questions. So, as we said, if you do have any other questions that do pop up, please feel free to grab the deck from Live Meeting. Our email addresses are there, as well as Twitter accounts if you're active. Please feel free to reach out to us with any questions you have. We'd love to answer them for you. As well, please, thank you for attending today. And please feel free to follow GNet for, as we said, constant updates to our solutions, tips and tricks for the Microsoft platform, industry news, and general goings-on. We have our blog that you can follow us there, our Twitter account, LinkedIn, Facebook, all your traditional social media platforms, as well as our website. So, again, we want to thank everybody for attending. We really appreciate you dedicating your time on this holiday week walk-in, and we hope you have a great holiday and a great new year, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.